I can always post it in the YouTube comments. All right, so we're live. I'm here with Steve from AxMinister. Was hoping to get his drummer in as well, but having some technical difficulties. All right, so AxMinister, tell us about the band. You're the newest member, aren't you? So, I was a bit confused about when your band started, because on Metal Archives it says formed in 1999 and then years active from 2008 onwards, but they never had anything out according to Metal Archives until 2013. So, what can you tell us about the origins of the band and then the name and that?
Well, okay. So I am the newest guy here. I joined the band last November. And so I can give you the history as I know it. Obviously, yeah. The founder, singer, and bass player extraordinaire, Nicholas Klaus, would be a much better guy to answer these questions, as would the drummer Bas van Bismarck, because he's been with him something like 8-10 years. So you say we formed in 1999, Graham?
According to Metal Archives, it says 1999, but then it says years active 2008 onwards. It looks like we've got Baz backstage now. He's found the link, so let's put him in as well.
Hello.
Hey. Here's Baz.
Hi, mate.
Say my AxMinister ass here, are you?
Yeah, I'm straight from work. I'm still in the car.
So we're just talking about the band origin, how the band got together. Do you want to throw that question?
Sure. And had the kind of inception of the idea actually from a bus ride from London, UK. He was going to Europe, and his last band, he was just playing bass. And he's like, enough is enough. I want to start singing and be more in charge. So when he got back, him and I started talking. And we used to basically partake in libations up in our town where we grew up by a street called AxMinister. So we're like, why don't we add an I to it, call it AxMinister, and let's make some good old-fashioned heavy metal. And we did.
Right. I thought AxMinister or AxMinister, I wasn't sure, was a type of carpet.
Yes. We are not a carpet.
You're not a carpet.
No. We are, yes, carpet metal. That's our brand.
So when was it you actually started then? Because Metal Archive says 99, but it's a bit confusing.
Yes, that was like kind of the first incarnation of the band back in high school. But then Nick went away for school, and I decided to focus more on my filmmaking and painting and stuff. And then when he came back from school, and we're like, you know what? Let's get this band back together. Our original guitar player unfortunately developed schizophrenia, and obviously, like, he couldn't. He's very ill. And long story short, now we have Steve, and we're kicking some butt.
Yeah.
Right.
A little nervous, though, Graham, let me tell you. Spinal Tap, right?
Spinal Tap?
Yes. Okay, you know the deal with the drummers and Spinal Tap, right? Okay, well, AxMinister is like that with their guitar. They've been through so many guitar players. But, I totally found my fit with them. I'm so happy with, like, all the stuff they've done in the past, their whole history, everything they've got going on, and future with them. So for a couple of reasons, I'm going to be with them for a long, long time now. Because, first reason is just because I really love the stuff. I totally found my fit. Second reason is because of their past problems with guitar players. They've been through all kinds of it. They actually made me sign my soul away to them in a contract in Blood.
Right, that's all good.
I'm stuck. They've got me.
Baz, have you got any headphones? Because it might stop. We're getting some feedback, some echo. I think it might be from your end.
Okay, one second.
You got any headphones for your phone, and should stop that, hopefully. So how did you come to join in, Steve?
Well, I have a good friend of mine, Tim Smith. I played with him in Aaron Cross, a local band here called Aaron Cross. Check them out; they're really amazing. With an incredible female vocal, Jacqueline Perez. So I was just filling in for a show with them, and Tim was the guitar player. So we played together, and, you know, I'd seen him around also in bars, and we become pretty good friends. Tim, if you look at the last AxMinister EP, The Crucible of Sin, Tim is the guitar player on that. If you look at the videos, like the latest one that we just released, the Succubus and the Crucible of Sin, as well as the other ones off of that EP, Salvation, the Trial of Hercules, Tim's the guy that you see in the videos there. So AxMinister took a bit of a hiatus. They were going really strong in 2018. They had the EP out, some videos. They were playing all kinds of shows all throughout the province. But then they took a hiatus in 2019. I was doing a band at the time called Haunted Heart. So I just left. AxMinister decided, like near the end of 2019, they wanted to get back at it, start doing it again. Tim wasn't really up for it. He's got his own stuff going on. So he wasn't going to be rejoining them. And I had just left my band Haunted Heart. And Tim contacted them and said, hey, you know what? I got somebody who's a perfect fit for you. And he was right. It's a perfect fit.
Yeah.
But here we are.
Didn't have much,
stronger than ever.
Cool. But you didn't have much time to kind of cement yourself in the band before the world started falling apart.
The what?
The world started falling apart.
Yeah, that's true. I still have not played my first show with AxMinister. And we sure would have now. And it's like, we're killing it in the jam room now. So
you actually get able to jam together.
All the time. Just really becoming a lot tighter as a unit. And it's getting really fun being in the jam room now because it's starting to sound pretty good. And we're going to do a live, Facebook Live this coming Monday.
Cool. What, a gig or just like a jam?
If everything goes okay, we got the studio booked and everything, then we'll be doing it this coming Monday, and we'll show you. And we're just going to continue to get better. So by the time the shows start coming back, AxMinister will be kicking some asses on some stages.
So you didn't have any time when you couldn't meet up together then over this? Did you still carry on practicing, or did you leave it a few months before you could get together?
There was a couple of month period. Where there were just the rehearsal spots were all closed. There was nothing that could be. We couldn't do anything. So, I mean, maybe I practice at home a little bit, but no, we didn't even see each other. And then another cover band as well, Steel Kitty. It was the same deal with them. And you know what? Through all the crap that we have all been through worldwide with this, with all the restrictions that have been placed on us and everything, when that happened, when it was I think a lot of parts of the world, they've got stuff coming back now and have had stuff coming back maybe for a couple of months, slowly in stages. But when everything was shut down, and that couple of month period happened where I wasn't able to jam with either of my bands, that was actually the toughest part of the whole thing for me. Like, you know what? I love playing shows. I love going to shows. I love being on either side of the stage. There is nothing. All you listeners out there, just put down your YouTube. Well, okay, we got the pandemic now. Keep the YouTube on, at least till this is over. But then, if you got a show to go out to, go see that, because there's nothing like the experience of a live show. What was I saying?
This whole period has really put paid to live shows, hasn't it? They're like, it looks like we're getting a new rule in now. They can't gather in more than 6 people in London or in UK at the moment. That's what we're talking about.
Because I do work with the Rage Breed crew, Rage Breed magazine, and the owner of that, Karina Schur, she's got a birthday coming up. She's trying to do this big birthday celebration. And she's just run into all those restrictions. And was that recent for you, the 6-person thing?
Yeah, I think they're starting it from Monday, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's forget about that crap.
We've got limits now where you can get up to 50 people. But yeah, that was the hardest part for me when everything was shut down, was not even being able to jam with the bands. You know, as soon as that came back, I was like, okay, wow, that is so much better. I'm good. I can wait for the bars and I can wait for the shows. But, just to be back with this ugly bastard I'm looking at the screen, and the other ugly bastard, Nick Klaus, just being able to get back together with them and make some noise, that went a long way to making me a little happier.
I
can't wait to start playing shows with Steve because there's a theatrical element to our live set where sometimes we sacrifice babies. It's all tongue in cheek, and we wear like outfits and we pour blood on ourselves. Like we try to make it entertaining, more entertaining, not just have a whole show. And Steve is all into that, so I
Yeah.
can't wait to see him come up with his character.
One of the
For
reasons why I'm a good fit for these guys. They've had some phenomenal guitar players in the past, but they haven't had a freak quite like me yet.
So you embrace the theatrical elements. That actually was going to be my next question. I was going to ask you about the theatrical elements and like describe to everyone watching this later on, what is the band about? How would you describe your music? How would you describe the theatrics and the ethos and the whatever of the of the band?
Well, we all love history in the band, right? And we're all artists. We don't just play music. I paint. I make films. Nick is also into painting and doing other stuff. So it's just an extension of that creative side of us, where there is a music, but we love the visual elements of art, and we express that, and we also have like a bit of a sense of humor that we also try to show. Like for example, one thing we do is we have this baby doll that we stuff with red confetti, and there's a moment in the stage that where the guitar player goes into a solo, and then Nick takes the baby, kind of kneels in front of the guitar player, and at the zenith of the solo, the climax of it, he raises the baby up and tears it apart in his bare hands, and all the red confetti goes everywhere. The bars hate it, but fun things like that. It's just a goof, to have fun. We want to get bigger and bigger stage shows, especially that we're working on a Napoleon Bonaparte's epic 15-minute song. So eventually, I would like to kind of have a little theatrical thing behind it, just because it's such fascinating history, and it's a whole experience. It's not just going there to play music, to enjoy music, which is obviously the majority of it, but we like to goof around. Sometimes we have dancers, etc. So it's all in good fun. People love it, so we love it. So it all works
go
out.
to the AxMinister YouTube channel. There's all kind of videos on there, and there's a lot of live video, live video footage put into the video, so you can see some of the stage show from there. And just let me say that Bass and Nick are very talented artists. I could fuck up a stick figure. I have a very talented family. If you see my wife's drawings,
They're amazing.
Yeah, my daughter is quite the little artist and has got some musical talent as well. I could fuck up a stick figure, but they're like very good artists. And speaking of that, like Bass is also into movie and TV production stuff, and he's responsible for most, if not all, of those AxMinister videos.
I'm a second. No, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you carry on.
No, I was gonna say I'm second generation filmmaker, so I've been playing with cameras since I was, prepubescent kid, just like a little kid, and I taught myself on actual film, like the celluloid, 16 millimeter and 8 millimeter and stuff. So I grew up with film. I have a great passion for it. I identify myself as a filmmaker. So for me, the band is an extension of that, and any opportunity to shoot a video, I'm all over it, and I try to make something original and creative that fits within a budget and within a time frame, because we're all busy. So it's an very exciting thing for me. If you go to AxMinister TV, youtube.com/AxMinister TV, you'll see a bunch of our videos that I've done for the band. Most of them are just full of compromise, and it hurts me to watch, but some people like them, and hopefully you guys like them too.
Yeah, cool. So the link down below in the description takes you to the blog where all of your links can be found. All AxMinister's links are in the blog, so go to that and go and sub all their pages and that. Do you do any sort of live film stuff on your live shows? You like ever thought of like having a backdrop like Napoleon? You could have the Battle of Waterloo going on the screen behind you while you're playing. Is that the kind of thing you have been able to or would like to?
Best. Tell them about the album covers.
Oh, yeah. Well, to answer your question, Gray, yes, we want to do that. I actually just bought a 4K 3D projector with a 100 inch screen. So eventually, like, yeah, we want to do that and maybe do put some of my original footage of the time lapses and things like that of the Milky Way and the Aurora Borealis and some other time lapses and stop motion stuff I've done. I think it's interesting, but that's just down the road. It's not like the priority is to get the music on, and we'll get to that absolutely. As far as the album covers, we have a thing in AxMinister that we always try to use Renaissance art or old works of art in our as album covers, like Hieronymus Bach. Whoever, and as long as it's the theme of the album, it's original works of art. So when people buy the CD or check it out online, or listen to the album on YouTube, they'll get to experience some great works of art that have survived 1,000 years and still relevant today, I think. So that's another thing you get from the band is that you get exposure to some classic art that really moved humanity. So
how many videos have you done for the band now? And what's your favorite video? You said you have to compromise, but what would you say was your favorite images that you was able to capture for a band video?
Well, I've done quite a bit of videos for the band. Honestly, I don't remember how many I've done. As far as personal favorite is Existential Christmas, only because even though it's not really the best video technically, because my hard drive crapped out and I lost half of the footage and etc. I was full of compromise. People didn't get the best response from my bandmates, and Nick always talks crap about it. But I love that video. Only because it's the concept is based off Waiting for Godot, and I love that play, and I try to kind of showcase things. So that's my personal favorite. As far as, in my opinion, the most exciting or the most engaging or technically exciting would be Salvation off our last EP, which is the third last video we released, because I shot a bunch of all this footage. It's basically like a mini series of every song has a video and it tells a story, and it's like a medieval sword fighting revenge tale of this guy's whose wife gets kidnapped, his kids get killed, and he goes chasing after the monster, the marauders that did it, and there's a big sword battle. I got actual swordsmen, and I choreographed the thing with them, and we shot it in a certain technique that I love. It's totally my style, and I love like shooting those videos, all of those Crucible of Sin videos. Editing is always a pain in the butt, but I enjoyed it, and I think people will get something out of it. It's very exciting. There's one of them. There's boobies. There's blood. There's tongue-in-cheek stuff. So like if you go on the AxMinister TV, you'll see all of those. But from those series, I really like Salvation. I know Steve likes the Succubus and the Crucible of Sin.
I like that latest. But
yeah.
If you're looking at some of the all-time videos, like going back, that was just off the last EP. But like Visceral Speed's really awesome. I like Babylon. It's very cool.
Visceral Speed is actually like, it hurts me to watch because I wanted to rent like a really fancy car, like a Beamer or a Lamborghini or something, but I got vetoed out of it because nobody wants to spend the money. I wanted to spend like 4 days shooting at night on the highways, this and that, but I got vetoed out. So I ended up having to shoot the whole thing in like 4 hours just by myself. And it turned out okay. The concept is there. what I wanted to achieve. I just think it would have been like so much more exciting if I was able to shoot it the way I really wanted to. But what are you gonna do? That's okay. It's out there. Hopefully, people like it. I really like that song as well, "Visceral Speed." So, because I love driving, I love driving fast, and I wrote the song just kind of an homage to driving fast, but also to those Megadeth drive fast songs, because Megadeth does that. They have like 501 and no 502,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
and you know, Motorcycle, even though it's not like really the best song. But yeah, I love driving fast and Visual Speed. I wrote those lyrics and that in mind is like how much my passion for driving, and so and the video was supposed to reflect that. Full of compromise, supposed to be 4 days. I shot it in 4 hours. It hurts me.
Yeah, but you know what?
So-
I said it earlier, and there you go, Graham, and High Speed Hangover podcast listeners. You heard it from the guy who does the videos himself. You've got boobies, you've got blood, you got metal.
Yeah, three of the best things in life. Three of the best things in life. Well, four if you count both.
Our views to be shooting way up now. Come on.
Yeah.
Boobies, blood, metal. Do it.
Talking about the live scene, and you haven't done anything live yet, but what are you planning to bring live, Steve, with your contributions to the new live theatrics? What have you got planned? You got anything up your sleeve to blow the other guys away?
Do I have the what to blow them away?
Anything planned? Any stage theatrics planned? Like something new they're going to bring in?
I've been looking at costume ideas a little bit, and I hope I don't blow them away too much. I get pissed off at me for it.
No, man, do it.
But no, nothing in particular. It's just I like to go up on stage and kind of be a freak anyways. Like I just go up there and I have fun, right? So I'm just swinging my hair around and hopping on things and just having fun. And it's because you know, I like going up there and being on stage and trying to get a little bit of a show is why I'm a good fit for AxMinister. I don't have anything specifically planned, which is probably good for me because when I'm on stage, I only halfway know what the fuck's going on anyways. It's just the music just kind of completely takes me, right?
Yeah.
The music controls what's going on. The music takes me and the crowd drives me, you know, especially if you've got a nice big crowd, you've got just like a synergy of energy. And I can look at some of my old videos and I can see where I've had a really good crowd because I can see I'm just really into it.
I don't know if you've seen pictures of Steve on stage or any footage. He looks great up there. He owns that stage. Like you can tell, he wears his leather pants and he just looks like he owns it, like he belongs on stage. I really cannot wait to share a stage with him. You know, I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be awesome. I'm the drummer, so I'm in the back. Half the time, nobody sees me. I'm never in the pictures, so it doesn't matter. Keep the beat. That's it.
All credit
but
to the
Steve,
photographers out there. All credit to the amazing photographers out there to make a goofy bastard like me look halfway on stage. And you know what?
please.
While I'm talking about the photographers, I love the photographers. Just let me give a shout out to a couple of them. I'm going to miss a whole ton of them, but there's Mary Beth Chabot, Tinkerbell Girl, absolutely amazing. Glenn Roger, Mark Hayes, Susan Gula, and so many more. It's like I'm forgetting a whole ton.
Nav from Metal Master Kingdom. She's awesome.
Yeah,
she's really cool, Nav. Yeah.
And you know what? I really appreciate. I really appreciate the photographers, and then also the people like you, Graham, the people who put on the podcast, the DJs, all the people that put so much time and effort and love into independent music. So, cheers to all of you.
That's right.
Yeah. Cheers. Let's talk about the actual music. We've not actually described the music yet. It's describe your sound to people listening. You know, I just got it down as thrash heavy metal, but where did this sound come from? And you know, has it changed over the years?
Well, obviously it's evolved.
Carpet metal. I believe it's carpet metal. It came from the nastiest, dingiest rugs in some nasty. Well,
you know what it is. Like lyrically speaking, we love history and philosophy and stuff. So we try to tackle that. We try to have at least one really shocking horror movie Cannibal Corpse type of style lyrics. So lyrically speaking, we try to be really visual and really have something to say that makes people think. As far as the music, Nick and I both love pretty much the same bands, which is like Megadeth, Slayer, that old classic thrash like Overkill, Creator. We also love Iron Maiden, obviously, and Manowar. So you mix that all up, that kind of old school thrash and new wave of British heavy metal with a bit of Manowar, and you get yourself AxMinister. Plus, our own and originality. What we try to be original as well, but it comes on from our influences. Listening to a lot of Slayer, Megadeth, and Creator and Overkill and all that, and even later like Municipal Waste and such, as well as kind of again like Manowar and Maiden and even a little bit of Judas Priest. That's where the melody comes on, I guess. But and we also, all of us, at least Nick and I, we love classical music. We're really big fans of classical music as well as jazz. So I'm sure that also translates a bit into our sound.
Yep.
So hopefully that answers it.
I can agree with pretty much everything Bass said there. I didn't shape any of the sound that you hear in AxMinister up to this point. I didn't do it. From here on, I'll have some input. But as far as the influences and the bands we like, there are a ton of bands that I like. Everything he listed there, including the classical music and the jazz music and stuff like that, is stuff I've always been a fan of as well.
Mm-hmm.
Thrash is one of my favorites. The new wave of British heavy metal stuff is another one of my favorites. It's again, just like Tim Smith said, it's a perfect fit.
No. Yeah, it really is.
Have you had? You've been so you've only been since November. Have you had any chance to start writing new material yet, or is it just a matter of practicing the stuff from the most recent albums?
We are working on some new tunes. There's a lot of ideas that they've had lying around that have never been recorded before, so a lot of it is that as well. But there are a couple that are brand new tunes, and even with the newer tune or the tunes that have been around that we're just kind of getting to now, and gonna add to our live shows or put on the EP that we've got coming up that we want to put out on vinyl. I'm kind of adding my own input to it.
Yeah. So have you, talking of vinyl, there's a chap in here from the vinyl community. So do you release vinyl CDs? What have you bought out many vinyls before? Or maybe
plan for the next one.
Yeah. Just for the next one, yeah.
We've released obviously CDs. We press CDs for every EP and every LP. But for this next one we want to release like a limited number of records, actual vinyl. Maybe we'll get 200 done and that's it. And it's going to be side one. Side A is going to be the Napoleon Bonaparte epic that we discussed, that we're still working on, and we're gonna we're still arranging it, and it's not fully set in stone. It's getting there. And side B is going to be a two-parter, part one and part two, songs about Vlad the Impaler. The person who inspired Dracula, that Romanian despot. So that's going to be an interesting side. The one side of the cover is going to be a Napoleon Bonaparte painting, and the other side is going to be a Vlad painting. And the Vlad one, part one at least, it's still up in the air. So Steve has a lot of input. He had this great idea of introducing this like really cool melody, which I really like, and even part two, still, even though it was mostly written before he joined, he still has we want him to have complete creative freedom. We don't want to shackle him in any way. So even some of the old stuff, if he wants to change the way to how to play it, we're okay with it, because it's only fair. We want him to be able to express himself the way he wants to. Steve has sent us a couple of songs that not necessarily songs, just like
riffs.
Yeah. And sometimes when Nick can jam and it's just Steve and I, we go over these riffs and we jam them out, and There's so many things to do, and I would love to be able to jam every day, 10 hours a day, but we can't. Uh, so we have to like practice our set, work on the songs for the EP, for the vinyl EP, and then on top of that, write new stuff. So usually the writing the new stuff takes kind of backseat just because of the timing. But again, we want Steve to be as free creatively as possible. It's very important.
Yeah, it's a really excellent atmosphere in the jam room. I mean, like, we all get along really well. We're just joking. And then, when we get in the groove with those tunes, it's kind of a lot of fun.
Cool. And it sounds like you're very...
the music. I like being part of the band because the music and the style of them is a perfect fit for me. It's really good. But, the most important thing in a band is like a second family kind of. And the people in it have to be really cool too, right? You got to get along as people and like and respect each other as people. And Nick and Bass are like a couple amazing people.
Oh, thanks, Steve. You too.
So we all get along really well. We joke a lot, and the mood. There's never any arguments, and if there are, it's just kind of Nick and Bass going at each other, and I'm just kind of laughing because it's just what an argument.
But that's only because like we've known each other like over 20 years now, Nick and I. So we're like family. It's like So when we argue, it's nothing serious. It's just like, oh my God, I can't believe you gone goofed like that. So it's not serious. Nothing carries over past like what it was, But like Nick is like my brother, So obviously we're gonna argue. So, but it's nothing like serious or mean or evil spirited or anything like that. It's just like family arguing. That's all.
Yeah, not driving any wedges between each other.
It's kind of like friendly arguing, right? And it's very Canadian style of arguing. It's friendly arguing. And they're laughing.
We apologize a lot
all the time. And then I'm laughing at it all as well. And then they come to a compromise. And we're all good.
Cool. So the last release is a couple of years ago now, the Crucible of Sin. Have you recorded all the stuff in the same place, or how do you record? You got a studio, or do you do it yourself? A lot of people seem to do their own recordings now. How do you go about it?
Take care of this totally. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to show you my guitar, and I'll be right back. I'm going to grab another beer.
Go for it.
Lucky bastards. The way we record, we don't like to do it ourselves because unless it's like the demo to go into the studio, we don't like to, because it never sounds good. We don't have the room, we don't have the equipment. So we always try to find a good producer. That's key. And then once we have a good producer, we'll listen to his advice or her advice. So far, it's been him. And we got like a professional studio. We rent it, and we make sure we're nice and prepared. We try to have as little cheating as possible. So what you hear is what you get. Like what we play is what ends up on the record. And we've learned with every album, with every recording, we've improved. Like for me, for example, make sure when I'm recording the drums that I'm fully sober. No booze, nothing. I have to make sure I'm sober because I just got sloppy. And
does that carry on gigs as well?
Pardon me?
You stay sober at gigs as well?
I have to be, because I played the worst show I've ever played was also one of our biggest shows. It was opening up for King Parrot from Australia, and we were right before them, like the direct support, and we had like a full house, and I was really sick. I had a really bad flu, and usually when I have a flu, I like to take a couple of Jägermeister shots because it's like medicine. And the bar, the Hard Luck, they didn't have Jaeger, so our guitar player at the time, he's like, "Oh, let's do tequila," and I don't. Yeah. But fast forward 12 shots later, I'm not even exaggerating. Like I'm talking 12 shots. It was a disaster. It was the worst show I've ever played. It was so embarrassing. I was dropping sticks every freaking song. I was so sloppy. It was like a nightmare. And then I made a vow. I'm like, never again will I play either drunk or high or anything. I'm just play stone cold sober, and afterwards I'll get messed up. Because
Yes.
I never want to see that happen again. It was terrible. It still hurts me.
You feel
You know,
bad.
when I was 20 years old, I played with my dad. My dad was probably my main influence musically. That's a question that gets asked a lot. And biggest influence really was my dad, because he was an amazing multi-instrumentalist. His specialty was keyboards, and he also sang, did all kinds of stuff. And so I played with him when I was 20 years old. Him and my stepmom, who was an absolutely phenomenal singer. And he just taught me like a lot about business and about professionalism. And, you know, really from then on, I am always straight on stage myself. Like, I love my beer and some other things, but I always save it for after the show. Like, you know, I'll be up till 5 or 6 in the morning after the show, making up for it. But yeah, I don't go up. I don't smoke anything before I go up. I don't drink any. I'll drink a maximum of 2 beers before I go on stage, and take 1 or 2. That's it.
Just take the edge off without being silly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and often I don't even do that. I usually just drink water.
Yeah. Cool. I knew it was going to happen. So, my brain always goes dead at a certain point in the thing. So, what's coming up next? When you obviously got no gigs lined up, obviously, because no idea what's going on with the corona and all that. But when you do you like? How do you like do tours, or do you just do you do gig swaps with bands in other parts of Canada? How do you normally go about sorting out your live touring schedules?
Well, I would love to do like a real like tour where we take a couple of months off and we just hit the road. We haven't done that yet, only because our obligations, life, and we're not rich, so we have to work. But as far as like how we get things, we've been doing this long enough. Pardon me?
Yeah, so it's been mostly local.
We've built enough of a network. Yes, local and look at Ontario. We've played a lot in Ontario. We've done like some mini tours, like Weekend Warrior tours.
Yes.
And all kinds of, like, you name a city in Southern Ontario, we've played it. And we've enough of a network with promoters that they contact us. You know, if they're looking for a band, sometimes they contact us, or we contact them, and immediately they find something for us. So we're lucky in that sense that we have good relationships with a lot of promoters in the Greater Toronto area. So, you know, promoters, people like to hate on them, but they're kind of some of the unsung heroes of the metal scene, because they put on these shows and it's a lot of work. And it's like they're not making money and dealing with divas. I think they're all rock stars. I really appreciate the promoters, what they do. You know, a lot of them are really good people. I just love them.
Yeah, a lot of amazing promoters around here. There's a lot of great bars around here, and you know, Toronto's a pretty big city, and then the Greater Toronto area compromises, you know, even other pretty big cities. It's 6.5 million, I believe, total. And there are so many places and so many other cities that you can do. Even Montreal is only, I think, about 6.5 hours away from here or something like that. And Ottawa is like 5.5 hours away.
Yeah,
so, so there's so many places just here in Ontario, and then, you know, Montreal being not too far away in Quebec, that you can get to, you know, within a day.
So there's plenty of clubs out there.
Further away places, maybe you'd want to spend the night, but still, there's an awful lot of opportunity here, an awful lot of amazing bars here.
That's cool.
My favorite, my cheers is the Rock Pile. In every city I've been in, every local scene I've been in, I've kind of got my favorite bar that I like to play at and that I like to see shows at. And in Toronto, it's the Rock Pile, an absolutely amazing bar. We've got there's a promoter that works there a lot, Steve Hogue. He brings in a lot of national acts when things are normal. Of course, we don't see that now, but I've seen. Oh my God,
We have an incredible sound guy.
Oh, Jake Disman,
the
sound
guy at the Rock.
You got Junior Leclerc, who's a big radio personality from the past. That's an amazing MC there. Does a lot of the shows there now. Yeah, it's a great place. Neurotic Entertainment is putting on a lot of shows there now. It's one of our favorite local metal promoters.
So you've got plenty of clubs and pubs to play gigs in where you are then?
Pardon me?
You've got plenty of pubs and clubs to play gigs. That's cool, because I was chatting to a couple of other bands recently, and they were saying there's nowhere to play where they are. They're really bad.
But you know what? There's, even since I've been here, and I've been in I'm in Hamilton now for a year, which is only 40 minutes outside of Toronto, and I was in Toronto for 3 years before that. So 4 years in the area, and I've seen a lot of places close, unfortunately. Some really great places, like the Berkeley was a classic place that closed, and that was even pre-COVID. And now you've got COVID on top of that, and there's more places closing, and so many places that are just hanging on by a thread.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really.
What about
you know what the problem? Oh, plenty of bands in the area. They're all like a lot of like talent in Toronto. There's too many to mention, and like if we start mentioning, we're gonna forget some. But I know that where we rehearse, there's a few bands like Decatur. They're really excellent. There's so many. Like there's actually one of my favorite bands ever is a local band from Windsor, Ontario called Antioch. If you've never heard them, check them out. Antioch from Windsor, Ontario. They basically they wave the flag of traditional heavy metal. Like, do you ever feel sad that Judas Priest isn't as good, or Manowar, they kind of lost the magic, or even Maiden? Listen to Antioch, because they will take you places. I love that band. They're one of my favorites, and they're all good people. We try to get Nick Allaire, who's the singer for Antioch, to guest on every album we do. So he's always on our albums. I love his voice. The boys in the band are great. I love Antioch. There's all kinds of great bands. I start naming bands, I'm gonna forget some, and it's not right.
There's so many bands here. We got some metal and hard rock legends here, right? That Toronto's just the city they've always lived in. They've always been a local band to hear, like Sven Galley and the Killer Dwarfs and Bill. Yeah. Not too far down the street in Ottawa, we've got, I think, Annihilators from Ottawa, isn't it? And Exciter. Exciter's got Daniel Decay in it now, who's a Toronto boy. He plays in a band here also called Diamonds.
What about Razor? Where's Razor from?
So many amazing bands. I mean, we've got those that are already known, but also like, we've got Fear, Prison Mind, Start, Incarnate. Just, again, like we could be here all night listing all the amazing bands here. There's also an amazing
my Frost.
Yes, of course, amazing. Also a really great selection of tribute bands here and cover bands and just different genre, all the other different genres. It's really quite the scene here. Coming from different places in Canada, I come here, and a lot of people that have lived here their whole life, they see the decline that's happened pretty much everywhere in the world, like since the 90s, right? It's just always been declining, even pre-COVID. So, they're not as happy about things. But coming from different places in Canada, like the Winnipeg scene I was part of, the Halifax scene I was part of, and coming to Toronto, it's just mind-blowing to me. All the amazing promoters that are here, all the amazing bars that are here, and the bands. Holy shit. So many incredible bands. So many bands what they're stage with.
You know what the problem is with these metal bars closing down? Like, we had this great place called Coalition PO. It had I love that place. It was my favorite. Saturday night, nothing to do, go to the freaking Coalition. You're gonna hear some great local metal. But the problem is, us metal fans, and myself included, I'm guilty of it as well. We go to these shows, we'll buy maybe a beer and 2 shots, and the rest of the night we have a flask, or we bring like beers with us. So we're not really spending the money on those bars. We buy just a drink, so we have something with us. But we go to the washroom, we down a flask, or we go outside and we're drinking from the flask, and these bars suffer. I'm guilty of it as well, but it's kind of sad, and I don't know what to say about that. It's terrible. Like, that's what we do. Like we kill the scene by being so darn cheap. By having to bring our own booze, we're literally hurting the scene. But what are you gonna do? It's the reality.
Yeah, but booze is expensive on bar side.
I'd stop drinking completely in blinking.
I know.
Gigs.
That's right.
It's ridiculous. I've noticed looking at the Metal Archives, didn't seem to have ever been signed. Never seem to have had a label. It just says, did you have a label at some point? Any label interest coming with the last release, or are you seeking it at the moment?
At this point, it doesn't make sense to really have a label. Like, we've talked to some people that were interested in signing us or whatever, but it's they don't really do anything. They don't pay for the studios. They don't put you on tools or anything like that.
A lot of labels are, and not all of them. There's all kinds of different labels out there, but a lot of the ones that I've been approached with, one with AxMinister and also with other bands in the past, I don't really see the point. They want you to pay them a whole bunch of money for PR and stuff like that, and basically to advertise your stuff. And this is money you're not ever going to see back. So to me, it's not very cost effective. It's you're far better off just doing it yourself. You put the work in yourself. You can get the contacts yourself. You can put your music all over the world yourself. And it's not that these labels, they do some good work, a lot of them. But it's just that, they want to charge you for this. And you know what? I don't like, maybe it's the Scottish heritage. I don't know. But I'm a cheap bastard with a dollar. I don't want to give you any money at all. If you want to make money off AxMinister, how about you just take a cut of what you make us? Okay?
Yeah.
I'm all for that.
Yeah.
I'm all for that.
The only thing about the label is that it sounds
of it, okay? But don't ask me to go pay you a couple of grand that I'm not ever going to see back, so you can do your advertising for me. I can do that myself.
It just sounds good to say, like, oh, we're signed to X label. It just sounds good, but it doesn't do anything. I don't think it does. Just a waste of money.
Yeah.
Well, if you like the sound of it, you can just invent your own label, can't you?
You could. Yes.
It does the same job, but you get people the money.
Yeah.
So, what about so you got the next release? Are you thinking about doing a vinyl for? You said, or is it this release you're thinking of doing a vinyl for?
Yes, the next one, the Napoleon and Vlad the Impaler.
Is that like a single? Is that an album we're talking about for the next release?
Well, it's going to be an EP.
Well, the one
EP.
Album-wise, anyways, on one side we're going to have Napoleon, and that's going to be like a 15-minute epic. On side 2, we're going to have Vlad the Impaler Part 1, Part 2. So it'll be a new cut to vinyl. Limited.
Cool. Put my name on the list for that. Then I'll buy one of them when it's done.
Awesome. Cheers.
So when do you think that's going to come back? The song's already written for that already.
Yeah. Well, Napoleon is a song that they've had for a while. I believe you even played that Hard Luck show that you were talking about.
Oh, no, don't. I was so messed up. I was so sloppy.
Vlad the Impaler is a song that they've had for a while, and I think you had a Vlad the Impaler Part 1, right? But we just kind of trashed that and started writing it from scratch.
Yes, exactly.
Cool.
We're still in the progress of doing right now. We still don't have that finalized, and we're getting the whole thing finalized and just all written, arranged, the way we like it, tightened up, and then we're going to hit the studio, and we'd still like to. We're going to try and get it out by the end of the year.
Right, cool. Depending on the lockdown and all that kind of thing, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, there could be scheduling issues, and then also, funds.
So you've been around for quite a while as a band, or in previous bands as well. How do you see the way technology, like the social media and that, has changed the way that bands are done, and the technology as well, changing the way that bands are done? Have you thought about maybe like doing some of these Kickstarters and crowdfunding and stuff to sort of pay for your record to come out? Anything like that? Have you considered, do you embrace all that new technology, or do you prefer to try and keep it old school?
Good question. The good thing about the social media is a reach. You're reaching more people. That's a great thing about it. You can put something up, and then next thing you know, like 10,000 people have seen it. That's really great. As far as GoFundMe and things like that, that always makes me cringe whenever I see bands do that. It's for me, it's like just do it. Like, why should I asking you begging? You're basically begging people, and I don't know. I'm too proud, I guess, to do it. But we haven't really discussed it. But personally, I it makes me cringe. I don't like it. So I don't know how Steve feels about it.
Yeah. I'm okay with it. I think you gotta earn the right to do it first. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, you got to get a friends.
You want to be, and AxMinister's got 10 years of history. Maybe they have, but me with them, I just got here, so I haven't with them. And I mean, you want to build up a fan base, and get a bunch of people that really do enjoy your stuff and would be willing to do that. So I think you have to earn it, and then it's a viable way to do it, because really, if you do have a lot of fans, they want to see more material out of you.
Yeah.
And the best way to do it is to get them to pre-buy it. Do these pledges. It's not like they're not getting anything.
No, that's it.
It's not. I know there's different platforms, but the one that I would do is the one where you donate a certain amount and you get perks for that, right? So whenever you're putting your money in, you're getting something for it back. So I'm okay with that. It's really just, to me, it's just like pre-selling, right? And you're going to give them material, and then it allows you to get in there quicker. But again, you want to build up a fan base. You want to get a bunch of people excited to see your next thing first, and earn that. Which I think AxMinister, they've got a lot of amazing things. I think they have done that, but I haven't with them, so I wouldn't be comfortable doing it myself.
No, another 10 years time now, you can be able to answer all the questions.
But as to the previous or the original question of social media, I've always called it it's a double-edged sword. I mean, the positive of it is that you can reach people in every corner of the world, and that is just the most amazing thing to me. When you're making your music, your videos, and there's people all over the world that can enjoy that, and you can extend that to exactly what we're doing here. You were in London, UK, Graham?
Yeah. And
here you are talking with a couple of Canucks, doing an interview, and pushing some more stuff. We get to have a chat and meet you on video. So that's all really awesome to me. I love that stuff. The other side of the sword is it has contributed to a dying live scene, right? Because people would rather just sit at home and watch their YouTube than go to a live show. This is, of course, pre-COVID. I can't talk in COVID terms. That's just a whole different story. But, just the way it normally is. You get less people going out to see the live shows, and you can't look at your phone or look at a laptop screen or something like that and get that kind of experience of a live show.
Yeah.
I love the support and the reach all throughout the world, and even the local support that you get online. That you really got to get out there to a live show wherever you're at in the world. Go find your bands, your bars to go to, and experience the live thing, because it really is the best way to do it. There's nothing.
I just want to let you guys know my phone is at 2% and slowly dying. So if I cut out, it's nothing personal. All right. It's just phone is about to die. That's all I have. I'm using a backup phone.
I keep hearing
Pardon
like a buzz noise. I keep hearing like a buzz noise, like you're getting texts or something like that, or messages. Every now and then you go buzz, buzz kind of noise come off. I don't know if it's your phone doing that.
It's good. I'm at 1% right now, and I dropped my actual phone in the toilet. This is my old backup phone with a screwed up battery. So
Okay.
it's literally like, at 1%. It's gonna like die any minute. So just want to let you know it's not like anything against you. It's just my phone is a piece of.
If
Well,
you
Sam,
disappear,
out to your best. Thanks for coming on with me. And
yeah, you've got about 5 minutes to go anyway. So do you want to say good? You can say your goodbye now if you want. Say your goodbye, Baz, and I can talk.
You guys rock. This is Bas van Bismarck. I play drums for AxMinister, and it was an amazing thing. I hope you guys go and check us out and check out our music and our videos. We love what you guys do. We aim to entertain, and we write music for us, but also for you guys. So thanks a lot for having us, man, and let's do this again. Absolutely. When I have actually a full phone.
Yeah, and so another record comes out or something like that, or when you bring the EP out or start your Kickstarter campaign or whatever, you can come on and chat to it on here again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
man.
man.
All right. Okay, boys. Phone is like literally at like about to die now.
I'll see you later. See you later, mate.
I'll see you Monday.
All right. So we've got about 5 minutes left to go. So lyric-wise, I was going to talk about lyrics, but you got anything to do with the lyrics? You've been doing any of the lyrics? Or is that all the other guys have been doing that? Is that something you've done in your previous bands? Or
lyrics at all? No. AxMinister actually has a happy birthday song. We first did it for a local promoter here, and then I do it. Yeah. Are you friends with the Soap Girls?
With who?
The Soap Girls. No. Bray.
Don't know them.
The Soap Girls are an amazing band out of South Africa. And to their friends and fans, they'll always do a happy birthday. So I started doing them back, like with Haunted Heart. And now we've done one with AxMinister. So we got that going on. And I did contribute to those lyrics a little bit, but it's really the only opportunity that I've had. So
it's not something you've done in your previous bands or something you might do in future for the band?
You know what? Honestly, I'm not really a lyricist. I do contribute sometimes a little bit, like help out. I don't really write lyrics myself. I kind of come from the Dr. Seuss school of lyrics.
Those are the best lyrics.
I would kind of suck. I can come up with riffs all day long, or all night long. But, I help a lot more than music. And I have a reasonably decent command of the English language, I guess. But, as Bass and Nick already do themselves. Yeah. So I can help out with lyrics. If you're looking for a particular metaphor or a way to phrase something, then I can sometimes help out with that. But I'm not really a lyric writer at all.
I would love to hear a thrash rendition of One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish. If you can arrange that at some point.
Okay. Yeah.
How about the Christmas song? What did you think of that one? I've not actually heard that yet.
You have a Christmas song, actually.
Yeah, I see that.
Song, Existential Christmas.
Yeah.
Existential. Yes.
Is that going to be a regular thing, or was that strictly a one-off, never to be repeated?
Well, it's kind of a one-off, but it's something we can play again every year.
Yeah.
Perfect video to have, because every time Christmas comes along, that's a perfect thing to add to your set list. It's a great, really good tune.
I need to check that out. All right, we're coming up to the last few minutes. Do you got anything else you want to say to people? Any plans coming up that you could think of, or any messages, anything people should check out?
Well, we are just practicing. Pretty much every week we're practicing, getting a set list ready to go live, and tightening up. I'd say we're at a point right now where we could just play a live show anytime, but we're still continuing to even tighten it up more. We're really focused a lot on the EP and getting those songs written and arranged so that we can step into the studio. And not quite as focused on the shows because, maybe if it wasn't for the COVID thing, I'm sure if it wasn't for the COVID thing, we'd have played a show by now. Yeah. But, with that, we are back to doing shows. Here in Canada or in Ontario, we are back to doing shows, but they're just very restricted and they're very different. You've got to sit at your table. If you have to have the mask on, if you leave the table, you need to give your contact information. You get the temperature check on the way in. So there are no mosh pits, man. There are no mosh pits. So,
no stage
we can wait. If a show came our way, I guess we'd be up for it, but we're not really actively looking for it because we can wait and just focus on getting into the into the studio. And I guess just more parting words is thank you very much. Really appreciate you having us on, and just what you do. I've seen some of these high speed or hangover podcasts before. I know you've interviewed a whole lot of friends of mine, and I really appreciate you guys and the DJs out there and what you all do. To all of you listening out there, really appreciate you, all the fans all over the world that take a chance and just go listen to something that the corporate music business and the FM radio stations are not trying to push down your throat. A lot of people talk about how there's no good music anymore. And, in the mainstream, I'll agree with you there. But there's so much amazing music out there. You just got to go look for it. And you've got guys like you bringing it to them. So thank you for that. Thank you to everybody listening.
It's all there in the underground for people who want to venture into it and check out the bands.
It's endless. It's endless. I'm a musician, obviously, or trying to be, at least. I want to be a musician when I grow up. I'm also a real super fan. Like, I love music. I love all the so many amazing independent bands that I've discovered.
Okay, well, to finish off, right, all the links to the band are in the blog. If you go to the link below in the description, the blog link is there. You can go to my blog, and all the links for your stuff is there. I'm going to try and find one of your videos to put up in the blog as well, so people can check out one of the music videos that Baz has put together. Where can people get a physical copy of your CDs? I know you've got Bandcamp. Can they get physical copies of CDs on there if they want to?
Yeah. There's physical copies that come from Bandcamp. What else? I think they've got T-shirts that are available on Bandcamp, and we've got the best COVID masks in the world. Most comfortable, fancy. Because you know what, we enlisted a really amazing fashion designer that I know. Too. So we've got some real quality masks, and you can get that from us. Just message us at the AxMinister page.
Oh, I have to.
We only made. We only made like about 20 of them, and I think they're half gone already.
Okay.
So we're not really. They're a little pricey, so we weren't going to mass produce them. But it all came from just me saying, okay, well, I know masks are going to be a thing. I'm going to have them. So if I have to wear a mask, I want a really awesome AxMinister mask. And then I have a fashion designer that I know that's done work for myself, and my wife, and my daughter before. And I thought, well, she is the one to make it. And yeah, she came up with some really amazing masks. So we have that. If you go to Bandcamp, our merch page there, then you can pick up some CDs and some T-shirts from there.
Cool. All right, then. Thanks for coming on. And Baz, of course, been a lot of fun.
Graham, it's been a blast. Cheers.
Cheers for everyone for watching. Make sure you check out the link down below. Go and like all of AxMinister's pages. Go and buy their face mask and some CDs. Right.
Do it. Thanks for watching.